The latest crisis in Iran didn't just shake the Middle East. It exposed a flaw Dubai had kept hidden for years: its geography. The same geography that once turned Dubai into a global hub for trade, finance, and travel is now placing it directly in the path of forces it cannot fully control. What once powered its rise is now becoming a pressure point it cannot escape. Tensions in the Middle East are nothing new. They have shaped the region for generations. But this moment feels different. For the first time, the world is seeing that even the most advanced infrastructure and the most expensive systems cannot fully shield the city from a crisis unfolding beyond its borders. Just take the case of the attack on the Dubai International Airport. This is one of the busiest hubs on the planet with the most advanced security system. The impact on global aviation was immediate. Routes, schedules, and international travel were disrupted. To understand why geography doomed Dubai, just take a look at this map. Dubai sits along the Persian Gulf, on the southeastern edge of the Arabian Peninsula, right at the center of the Middle East. With more than 50 kilometers of coastline, it has turned its shores into a global showcase, building iconic developments like the Palm Jumeirah and the World. But that same location reveals a different reality. Just across the Gulf lies Iran, placing Dubai within immediate reach of regional instability. And unlike larger countries, Dubai has no strategic depth, which means its most critical infrastructure is directly exposed. Dubai's location hasn't changed. The risks were always there, in plain sight. So, we can't help but ask, how did it still manage to attract the wealthiest individuals all over the world? To answer this, we have to examine the reputation it carefully curated. For years, Dubai was more than just a destination. It built an image of being a haven for wealth, business, and ambition. In this part of the world, instability seemed to stop at the border. That was never by accident. Dubai deliberately built an environment designed to pull in wealth from every level. The first step was to create a setting that signals luxury at every level. Landmarks like the Burj Khalifa and the iconic Burj Al Arab were constructed to deliver a clear message. This is a city operating on a different scale. That same approach extended across the entire city. Luxury residences, high-end hotels, and curated experiences were all designed with one goal in mind: to meet the expectations of the global elite. And they went even further. Dubai attracted some of the world's most sought-after brands across fashion, technology, and lifestyle, turning the city into a global hub for high-end retail. Its malls became more than just places to shop. They became destinations built around exclusivity and experience. It was a calculated effort to create an environment so compelling that for the world's wealthiest, choosing Dubai didn't feel like a risk. It felt like an upgrade. Adding to this, they've attracted these successful individuals with lower taxes. In their home countries, success often came with heavier taxation and tighter scrutiny. In Dubai, the experience felt different. Wealth was not penalized. Rather, it was welcomed. Programs such as the Golden Visa increased Dubai's appeal. It gives expats the ability to secure long-term residency and remain in the country for as long as 10 years. For those who move here, it feels like stepping into a place where you can enjoy what you've built without limits. Despite the tensions surrounding the region, the city stood as an exception. It felt insulated and almost untouchable. As conflicts reshaped nations and volatility spread, Dubai's rise as the preferred location for expats was unstoppable. Dubai became one of the most powerful magnets for global wealth. As a matter of fact, more than 90% of its population are foreigners. Based on recent stats, it is home to around 237 centimillionaires and at least 20 billionaires. In a single year alone, an estimated 9,800 millionaires chose to relocate here. They brought with them roughly $63 billion in wealth. But in just one single event, this city's weakness has been exposed. When Iran launched its attacks on this part of the world, it reminded everyone that Dubai isn't isolated from external tensions. What happened next was a nightmare for this city that heavily depends on the money of the expats. Uncertainty spread quickly, and behavior began to shift. Expats, workers, and investors made quiet and calculated exits. Some foreign personnel working for international companies chose to return home temporarily, waiting to see how things would unfold. But for many others, the experience changed something deeper. The way they saw the city was no longer the same, and returning was no longer part of the plan. As departures continued, the atmosphere was completely transformed. As others have described it, the city became like a ghost town. Beach bars that used to be full of energy are now completely quiet, with empty loungers and still pools, and even luxury stores like Gucci are starting to shut down. And it's not just one area. You're seeing the same thing across coastal walkways and shopping centers that used to be packed with tourists, now suddenly feeling empty and subdued. What's even harder to believe is how fast this happened. Just a few months ago, Dubai was one of the most popular destinations in the world. So the big question is, can this popular city ever recover? The honest answer is yes, at least in the short term. It's been through crises before, and it knows how to bounce back. But in the long run, it might be a different story. Because what we're seeing here isn't just a temporary disruption. It reveals something deeper, something built into the foundation. At this point, it's no longer just about economic strength or policy decisions. It comes down to something far more permanent. It's geography. This becomes even more significant when you factor in what's happening with Iran. The country is entering a new phase of leadership, one that's far less predictable. And when leadership becomes harder to read, decisions become harder to anticipate. Everything becomes uncertain, more reactive. Hence, the situation in Dubai will forever be in peril because it will always be a potent target. For one, it has a close military and intelligence ties with Western countries. Adding to this, its status as a preferred global financial and tourist destination would have the greatest impact if attacked. Adding all these up, it's logical that now the ultra-rich are looking in a different direction. Across Singapore and Hong Kong, private bankers and corporate service firms are working around the clock as transfer requests surge from clients who once saw Dubai as one of the safest places in the world. Until recently, departures from Dubai were rare. People did not leave permanently, and certainly not with urgency. Now they are. Millionaires, entrepreneurs, and expats are preparing to exit entirely, some willing to pay any price just to secure a way out. And when they leave, the negative impact it has on the overall growth of the city is immeasurable. They take with them the capital that drives new investments, and with it, the growth that would have followed. Authorities in Dubai are in panic mode. They know full well that without the expat money, the city would basically shut down. As they say, someone's loss could be somebody's gain. This is exactly what's happening. The ultra-wealthy are beginning to look toward a European alternative that offers the same level of luxury and opportunity, but without the same geographic risk. That place is Monaco. This country offers the lifestyle and access they're looking for, while remaining far removed from the instability now surrounding Dubai. Monaco may be small, but it delivers where it matters. It has favorable tax conditions which protect wealth rather than expose it. But more importantly, it offers something even more valuable in times like this, and that's consistency. Backed by long-standing political stability, Monaco provides the kind of predictability that wealth depends on. And as geography becomes a bigger factor, that difference starts to matter more. Because while Dubai's position is now being questioned, Monaco's location works in its favor, which makes one question unavoidable. Will Dubai reclaim its former position, or will its geography continue to work against it? If you'd like to have a deep dive on these kinds of topics, consider subscribing and be part of our community. We think that you'll love this next video. As always, see you in the next one.